Father, let this message come in through to the people that need to hear it. May it free them. May it liberate them from condemnation and confusion and from self-doubt. May it bring them back to you, Father, confidently, elegantly. True freedom. This is from a Toltec dream. A powerful transformation occurs as you develop a worldview that helps connect you with primary reality. From my point of view, primary reality is the Almighty Creator, the original creator of everything. A powerful transformation occurs as you develop a worldview that helps connect you with primary reality, for He is all, she, the divine is everything. So of course you're going to find Him or her, you're going to find divine in everything if you're looking at it in the right perspective. Because why wouldn't you? At the same time, while the inherent character of a discipline can help you open perception, it can also trap perception. As you expand your worldview, for instance, you might tend to regard the expanded version of reality as the truth. Whereas you once regarded ordinary reality as truth, you now have learned the folly of your ways, and now know your new reality is the real truth. Period. Excuse me, my cat's on the roof, and when you live in a tent, that's not allowed. 1 second. Hey! Get off the roof! Get off the roof! Thank you, thank you. Don't do that. Such an important message, and I know it is, that she wanted to partake in the fun. Do I have your attention again? There you are. Waiting for her to come and stomping in here, being all Kina-like. When she's in trouble, she knows. Let's focus again. A powerful transformation occurs as you develop a worldview that helps connect you with primary reality. At the same time, while the inherent character of a discipline can help open perception, it can also trap perception. As you expand your worldview, for instance, you might tend to regard the expanded version of reality as the truth. Whereas you once regarded ordinary reality as truth, you now have learned the folly of your ways and now know your new reality is the real truth. If this happens, all you have done is to duplicate the error of perceiving any given reality, ordinary, non-ordinary, or otherwise, as truth. Is it the Father? Is it a female presence? Is it aliens? Is it Jesus or Yeshua? As the end result, however, rather than organized impressions and interpretations of perception, you are now having the dream of being dogmatically fundamentalist, and often that is not fun. Did you catch that? Whereas you once regarded ordinary reality as truth, you now have learned the folly of your ways and now know your new reality is the real truth. If this happens, all you have done is to duplicate the error of perceiving any given reality, whether ordinary, non-ordinary, or otherwise, as truth. As the end result, rather than as organized impressions and interpretations of perception. You're now having a dream of being a dogmatic fundamentalist, and often that is not fun. Don't put yourself in a box. And don't allow others to put you in boxes either. The Father, the creator of all, Mama, Holy Spirit, however you want to see it at this time in your life, is limitless and infinitely in love with you. Passionately, lovingly, powerfully in love with you. Revel in that. Know yourself in that. Now here's the important other part to this message. May it free you. The cumulative effect of organizing perception is the construction of a reality. And the process of isolating its individual features is called selective cueing. Selective cueing is important. Selective cueing pertains to placing specific emphasis or de-emphasis on perceptions. Don't let others' point of view from their perception dictate your sovereignty and who you are. It's vitally, awesomely important to catch what I'm saying here. Of course, this is just my perception of this reading, isn't it? The other thing I wanted to end this with is from another Toltec book, The Four Agreements. This is from page 17. That is why humans resist life. Resist life. To be alive is the biggest fear humans have. Death is not the biggest fear we have. Our biggest fear is taking the risk to be alive. The risk to be alive and express what we really are. Fly your freak flag. Fly your freedom flag, as Ember said earlier. Just being ourselves is the biggest fear of humans. Be yourself. Please be yourself. How do you know you're being yourself? You're happy. Consistently, sustainably happy. You feel like a conqueror. And you giggle a lot. We have learned to live our life trying to satisfy other people's demands. We have learned to live by other people's points of view because of the fear of not being accepted, of not being good enough for someone else. During the process of domestication, we form an image of what perfection is in order to try to be good enough. We create an image of how we should be in order to be accepted by everybody. We especially try to please the ones who love us, like mom and dad, big brother or sisters, the priests and the teacher, trying to be good enough for them. We create an image of perfection, but we don't fit this image. This image is not authentic. I was talking to Emma, my friend, very good, awesome woman, just about how we come off to other people because we're taught to be a certain way to be accepted. Or perhaps you're in a new place in your life and people are trying to tell you what it's like to be what you have to be like to be accepted in a certain establishment or community or wherever. You have to be a certain way. You have to conform. You don't have to do shit. You can choose to, if you want to, if it makes you happy. You can't fake it. Wherever you're at, you can't fake it, because if you do, then you're being unauthentic. They'll never see who you are. If you're trying too hard to fit in, you'll never be truly accepted, because you haven't accepted yourself. You haven't been honest with yourself. You have to trust yourself, to know thyself. You have to accept that you may not be where you want to be. You may not even know where that is. But you know yourself enough to know what makes you happy. If you know yourself, you'll have enough faith in yourself to persevere against anything, whether it be big, small, insignificant, or just annoying. It could be anything. But it has to be authentic. In order to be sovereign, you have to be authentic, no matter where you are at in your journey. No matter what other people's perception of who you are is. You have to find that balance and be yourself. You can walk with Father that way. You can be as powerful as Mama Gaia is, as full of compassion as the Holy Spirit has shown herself to be, and just as crafty, and by crafty I mean workmanship of creation, to the level of workmanship, not just work. But I stray. Trying to be good enough for them, we create an image of perfection, but we don't fit this image. We create this image, but the image is not real. We're never going to be perfect from this point of view. Never. Not being perfect, we reject ourselves. And the level of self-rejection depends upon how effective the adults were in the breaking of our integrity, or how, as adults, how good we are at keeping up our integrity or breaking it. What does integrity mean? Be authentically awesome. Your version of awesome. Don't hurt others. That includes not hurting yourself. After domestication, it is no longer about being good enough for anybody else. We are not good enough for ourselves because we don't fit with our own image of perfection. We cannot forgive ourselves for not being what we wish to be, or rather what we believe we should be. We cannot forgive ourselves for not being perfect. Well, how do you get out of that mindset? Remember that when you are going to be perfect is when you're dead. Moved on to another dimension of space and time. But here, there is no perfection. The closest we get is authentication. Authentically ourselves. We see ourselves as lovable, redeemable. Did I say lovable? Worthy. Remember who our lineage, our divine lineage is. We have compassion for ourselves, and we have trust in ourselves to be able to make it no matter what. But to do it with integrity, to do it authentically, as ourselves. And we are the only ones that can be ourselves. You know that little snowflake ideology, or whatever it's called, that no snowflake is the same? Be your own snowflake. Fly your free flag. Be free. Your people will come. Your loved one will come. Or you'll go to them. The vibrations will meet. It may not look like what you thought it did. But if you're authentic, and you depend on your own perceptions, should be okay. Honestly, you should be okay. I love love you very much. See you guys tomorrow.